coverage of the problem. We are working on the road. Canada Jeffrey. According to Media Plus, many people think of the school chain when they think of teen violence. But teen violence includes many different activities. They include violence, guns, violence, and suicides. The victims of teen violence are the most often another teenagers. I have 3 main points. Teen violence in school. What causes violence in teens? What can we do to reduce violence in teenagers? Please let me talk you the situations for teen violence in school. My primary point, teen violence in school. According to Born 2009, 5 attacks for 2006 and 2007 school years have already been recorded for all wings, 2 months for each arm. 3 of those check-ins involving adults outside entering the school and commitments to criminals. A topic for separate considerations, but one just as important as studies in violence that addressing safety and learning environments. Violence and schools and violence and ongoing to parent for harassment and abuse. It can be done really by physical or verbal attacks. This indirectly by inclusion, screams, rumors, and etc. Bullying seems power through aggression and direct the attacks and vulnerable victims. Violence, but the laws they popularly in high schools and have high in middle schools and have criminal records and adults. According to science in 2019 violence, 1 in 5 kids admit to being violent or bullying, and every 7 minutes a child is failing in the school in civics. I am sure you have seen what happened in the schools with the teenagers. Now, what is the cause for this violence? My second point. What causes violence in teenagers? There are many factors. Violence in home, lack of education, violence in TV and movies, and so on. Violence in home. According to Brain Michael, 2009, violence in home can be of physical note, or this be expressed verbally, intrusive, negligence, and dominance. Abusing homes and violent neighborhoods are strong predictors for those violence behaviors and violence in the media. Most abused parents have physical or sexuality abuse in children. Law for education. According to at-risk.org 2004, teen violence, we cannot ask parents to make the addictions for educational responsibilities can be over responsibilities to the school because the principal values for education should be the family. The school is very important in preventing violence. The phenomena for school violence should choose harassment should be tried for all public and private. And violence from primary many features violence adolescents. Violence on television and movies, violence on TV account for most programs, and especially 5 times more in cartoons. The general response of TV violence on progress behaviors in children who view violent show. Now, what is the possible cause of teen violence? What we can do to reduce violence? The 3 main point. What can we do to reduce teen violence in teens? Change of change of teams of violence. Part what we want to do is change the way teen abuse violence. Try to catch and pushing people out in the community. A violence act will not stop violence in life. This like in life and stress, it's better to go to jail and kill. Reduce the prevalence of domestic violence, child abuse, and negligence. According to Canada Director, do not ignore the signals for evidence of child abuse or domestic violence. People need to report a child protector to local police or a school counselor. Possibly refuse abuse, disease, violence in all forms, help immediately. Stop the cycle for violence. Reduce the amount of drugs. According to American newspaper, organization view Narcotics Anonymous, who showed the use of brings this message to even jams, elementary school trials. They also have to learn the immaturity of selling drugs, among others. A parent's drug education program must become part of the standard education of every child in this country. Reduce the demand for violence, intimidations, and news. Violence in the media is ever more graphic and justification and active violence and planning more deepens and jams people and men. The movies industry has promoted the normal over-the air screening large automatic power that begins the guns, the grace, the arrows, reduce the relate the privilege in guns' hands. Finally, I would like to use my review for my 3 main points. I got to reduce home violence and home workouts to violence in teenagers, teen violence in school. Teen violence is not a teen problem. We as community are part for these issues. Our teen need our attention and environment and real solutions through as support in community and state keepings. We know encourage violence by watching programs to promote aggressions. The information of camps, judgment are not the solution. The East kids need to understand the different factors that cause violence in teenagers. We need the fight to prevent a child and real education and access to it. Thousands of junkies the brush for the problem. We are working the road.